Climate change and its consequences and effects. Since the 80s, the surface temperature of our Earth has increased by about 1 degree Celsius. The past years, especially the years between 2015 and 2019, were the hottest years in the last 140 years. A major goal is to reduce carbon emissions. Current studies show that the reduction targets for the years 2030 and 2050, manifested in the Climate Protection Plan 2050, can only be achieved if the measures taken so far are massively accelerated. Although greenhouse gas emissions in Germany fell by around 30–35% in 2019 compared with the 90s, an additional reduction of 1.5% initially, or 1.4% to be correct, initially, and an additional 4.6% per year from 2030 onwards is needed to achieve the ambitious climate protection targets for 2030 and 2050. But who is to blame for this, and who is the main contributor? Cities and their immigration, meaning urbanization, are considered to be one source of emissions. Today, half of the world's population lives in cities. By 2050, it should be even 2/3. The majority of global energy consumption takes place in cities, which are also responsible for approximately 80% of global greenhouse gas emissions. Accordingly, cities could be a starting point when it comes to addressing climate change. Not without reason, the pursuit of sustainable cities and communities is one of the United Nations' explicit Sustainable Development Goals. To achieve this goal, cities are increasingly relying on information technology and information systems to become more efficient and sustainable, which is often summarized under the term smart city. So what's a smart city? The idea of smart cities is quite old and dates back to the good old 90s. At the same time, the Silicon Valley was already home to leading tech companies. Advanced IT and systems were put in place to establish the area in the global economy. Among other things, this had an enormous impact on the surrounding area, residents, businesses, communities, and governments. Thus, the first smart city was born, which actually was not a city, but a valley. Since then, the idea and definition of smart cities has evolved. Today, there are several definitions of smart cities, calling them a fuzzy concept and not always used consistently. The German Federal Ministry of the Interior defines smart cities as the development and use of digital technologies in almost all areas of the municipal level. The scientific literature writes that a smart city consists of 6 central components, whereby, especially with regard to the current challenge of climate change, the role of smart cities as contributor to sustainability is emphasized. To this end, a smart city contributes to 2 goals. First, increasing energy efficiency, and second, increasing the integration of renewable energy sources. We refer to technologies that contribute to these 2 goals as smart energy technologies. Prominent examples of such technologies are energy-saving smart home appliances, such as smart thermostats, used by individuals at home in their apartment building. Overall, smart cities represent very complex wired systems, meaning that transforming urban areas into smart cities is challenging, requiring significant effort. Accordingly, smart city planners, public administrations, and government stakeholders often start their efforts by reducing the complexity and dependencies by focusing on an integral subsystem, smart districts. Accordingly, smart districts represent playgrounds for road testing and are often the origin of consumer trends contributing to the district's environmental, social, and economic development. If effective, scale-up agendas at the larger city level are formulated. This definition on the slides highlights the fact that information and communication technologies lie at the heart of the smart districts. A smart district can be defined as a sustainable smart quarter that comprises a sub-area of a city in which forward-looking solutions are applied for the areas of economy, society, administration, mobility, the environment, energy, and habitation. These solutions are based on an intelligent ICT infrastructure that ensures benefits for all stakeholders, and in particular enables a high quality of life for every citizen and every resident.